today. Hopefully everybody doing great. So I think we can title this one here, "The Science of Spirituality and Manifestation." Yeah, this is good because as you see in the title, right, 95% of your brain's activity is beyond your conscious awareness. So I think let's jump to this because I have some questions from you guys. It's asking me some questions here. So let's get into some questions. All right, what do we have here? So one question here we have, it's a pretty good question. It says, "Hey Mark, I'm loving your lottery subliminal videos, but I'm a little confused. In one of your videos, you said don't use affirmations, use askformations, right? Affirmations, I think it means, with positive questions. But in some of your subliminals, you're using affirmations as statements, not questions. Which one is more effective?" Okay, this is a great question. All right. So the answer to this question lies in how you're doing it. All right. So look, when you remember now, when you're using subliminals, you have other factors helping to distract the conscious and the gatekeeper mind. So statements, when you use subliminals, the statements will work effectively because they have different brainwave frequencies. So that way the information can get right into the subconscious. So that's in subliminals though. How many people, you can't go around every day with subliminals, right? Because you have stuff to do, logical, structural things in your life to do. So that's why they work. Now, the questions work more effectively when you're awake. Remember now, you're more awake than when you go to sleep. So you're awake about 14 hours a day. And when you're awake, you're in a beta state. That's in a judgmental, cognitive, logical state. You have the two minds working. So it's really hard for you to program your subconscious. That's why 95% of what we do is subconscious. During the day when we get up, we aren't actually thinking or doing stuff. It's our subconscious running. Our minds are just out there processing information. However, this is the rule. When you do the questions, do them out loud. When you do them out loud, when you ask the questions out loud, it's going to engage your conscious, your critical divide. It's going to distract them just enough so the subconscious can get the question as well to prove it to you. Because when you ask a question, the first thing your mind's going to start thinking is like, hey man, how can we do this? That's enough room for the conscious, for the subconscious to get it, to make it effective. So my rule of thumb is you can use subliminals in any form as long as you can do them in question format, regular format, as long as they have what's embedded in them, like the subliminal frequencies, things that will distract the theta state, and you're more relaxed. During your waking hours, if you want to effectively program your subconscious to get it a lot faster, you go ahead and you use the question. The questions will help you. Remember, questions are your answers. Okay, questions are your answers. So that's how it works when you're doing it that way. Now, for some reason, I can't see the questions here. I don't know what's happening here. But okay, we better pop back up on this thing. So I know you guys have a lot of questions, but I don't see the questions now. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. Some messages, all messages are available. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Now I got all your questions. Hi, Mark. Good morning, Mark. Good morning. While I'm waiting for my manifestation, can I move on to my house and manifestation next? Yeah, we're gonna cover all that. So let me get some more of these questions, then I could get with you guys here. All right, what's the other one here? Okay. Okay, this question here says, where's it at? Okay, give me a second. Put up my pad here so I could get this question going. Everybody's doing good today, right? All right. Okay, can you answer the question about manifesting and having a clean place? I know there could be others who want to know more about this topic. So this person is asking me about, can I manifest if I have like a cluttered house? And so the answer is, your house is a representation of your brain. Your car is a representation of your mind. If you have a cluttered home, a cluttered car, you're going to have cluttered manifesting realities. Let me show you something that you can do right now to help you. And actually, science has helped us. Did you know that if you get up every morning just by making your bed, you are 50% more liable to be successful than everybody else. Let me repeat that. If every morning, if your house is cluttered, but if you get up every morning and you just make your bed, you fold the sheet, you put the pillows, and you do that every morning, you are 50% to be more successful than the population. Can anyone tell me why? Anyone want to take a shot at this? If you make your bed every morning, well, here's the answer. It's because you're teaching your brain organizational skills. The more your brain gets organized, the more neural pathway it creates. The organization to the brain means more opportunities and more things to look for. So when you organize, your brain sees a routine, it sees a habit, it starts to look for other avenues to bring you organization. Hence, you can manifest a lot faster. Okay. I love what you've done to the interior of the Bimmer, Mark. Oh, thank you. So that simple thing there was going to help you manifest. But if you're someone who has a lot of clutter in your home or anything like that, you want to start to get it organized, because you're teaching your brain that this organization is my reality, and the brain is illogical. Now remember, 95% of the brain is beyond our awareness, so that means we're more subconscious, and we teach our brains to what we look around and do, and this is our habits. And actually, when we have like a cluttered place, our subconscious thinks that we want. You're gonna have a cluttered life. You're gonna have cluttered manifestation. I want to keep it real with you guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it here, because I want to help all of you to create your life. No one talks about this. So these simple things can help you go. All right, got that one. Greetings from Chile. Yes, and it gives the brain a chance to become more aware. You can go look that up, and you see research for yourself that they just discovered that just a simple act of making your bed will make you 50% more successful than all the population. I wonder how many people make their beds. Okay, let's see. All right, these questions. I get so many questions, but I want to get the ones that put. Let me see if I can.
Hey, dear Mark.
Let's see if you can you hear this question here? Let's see.
It's okay.
Maybe you guys can hear.
I'm recording this
Let me know if you can hear it.
voice note to ask you something, because I am writing a book actually, and
she's
I
writing a
have
book.
some concepts
Oh, you can hear it good.
not very landed. So one of them is the gatekeeper. So I put them like if the gatekeeper is like the bouncer and the subconscious is like the DJ, and
How about the gatekeeper?
The ego is like the promoter, you know. But I am having this question about what is the criteria for the gatekeeper when the ego came and give the gatekeeper like something to run, like
Gatekeeper.
if the gatekeeper have something like criteria or something like what to pass the information to the subconscious to run it, or it doesn't have like any
Good. Can you guys hear, right? I'll summarize it for you. So
any criteria, yeah. So
all right, let me
I
see
know
what
that
she's saying.
you can like convince as well the gatekeeper with different techniques.
All right, so basically what she's asking me is, you know that the conscious mind and you have this conscious mind, gatekeeper, right? And so what she's asking me is that why does sometimes your gatekeeper allows information in and it doesn't, and then other times it doesn't? What's the difference? What is making, why does the gatekeeper have sole control over what goes into the subconscious or not? And remember what the gatekeeper is. So you have the conscious mind, which perceives the world. The gatekeeper is the middle guy that agrees if the world is what the subconscious says, and then put it to the subconscious to create. But sometimes the gatekeeper can go AWOL on itself. It can still process, and it can just say, all right, conscious, I don't like that, I'm not going to give it to the subconscious. So what is it that makes the gatekeeper do that, right? That's the question. So the answer is this: It's all about repetition. So what the gatekeeper does, the gatekeeper looks for repetition and routine and familiarity. So what happens is there's two things in there: the familiarity and your emotions. If if you're seeing something and you want to get into your subconscious, the gatekeeper is going to become aware and observe and say, all right, is this true? Do we see this a lot? And if it is true, it's going to go into the subconscious. Now, even if you're experiencing it in your conscious mind and your emotions are highly, your gatekeeper may say, well, this doesn't register because I don't see this a lot. Even though you're into it, I'm not going to let this go into the subconscious mind. So that's the simplest way I can answer that for you, to show you that the gatekeeper does that, right? See how that works? All right, good stuff, right? Um, okay, the subconscious. Why is it important to be awareness? All right, so we're gonna get into this one now. So the subconscious mind, as someone asked me, how does it work? Well, the subconscious, what it does, it transmits signals, right? These signals are like vibrations of your thoughts, and then these go into what we call the higher mind or the superconscious mind. And the superconscious mind is what people call the Akashic records, all these things that create your world. The best way to get to the subconscious is affirmations and visualizations. They activate the subconscious mind. They help it. The conscious mind, basically what it does, it commands your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind will obey the conscious mind if everything match up. The subconscious, where is it located? It's located on the right hemisphere part of the brain. That's the part of the brain. Basically, what it means is that's where most of the information gets. The subconscious doesn't have any particular location, but if we want to say where does it get the information or signal, it's going to get it from that part of the brain, from the right. The right side of your brain is where you have intuition, inspiration, and all these things to get better. Okay. The key about awareness is awareness gives you the ability to create. Without no awareness, you cannot be here. You cannot. There's no universe or multiverse in it. Okay, another thing is when you go to sleep at night, your subconscious stays awake. It doesn't sleep. Your subconscious never takes any day off. Remember that. The subconscious, it processes about 400 billion bits of information per second, and they actually map the speed of these through electrical signals. When the brain is fired for information, they actually see speed of the subconscious is up to 100,000 miles per hour. When it sends information, it travels 100,000 miles per hour. Next one, the subconscious does not recognize negative words like no, not, have, no visual components. That's a good one. You got to remember that. All right, so you got to be careful of what you say and the things that you are to. Okay. Lottery one here. Someone asked about the lottery now. Mark. So with the lottery wins, should I choose my own number or should I do quick picks? So you guys could chime in here. What do you guys do for those who are manifesting a lottery? What do you guys do? Well, here's the answer. Quick pick. Someone says quick pick. Well, when I won with quick pick, so remember that I did a quick pick, and then I started to do my own numbers. So my rule of thumb is this: I play numbers when I get a dream of numbers, and I get dream of numbers. I play those numbers, and then I do quick picks on them. The only time I play numbers is if there's something really, the universe is showing me something and says, hey, these numbers, play them. I'll play them. Okay, so that's what I do. I do quick picks. Let's continue with the science of spirituality and manifestation. I get to some of your questions here. So are you aware that 90% of your reality lies in the subconscious mind? Okay, 90% of it lies in the subconscious mind. Okay, let's talk about some things that will slow your manifestation down. Here they are: anxiety, impatience, fear, doubt. They can all slow your manifestation down. Okay, you know why? Because they create and they set up resistance. Okay, how about this one? The past, the present, and the future, they exist simultaneously. Quantum physics shows us that, right? Your subconscious accepts spoken words faster than thought language. Did you get that one? When you speak out loud, you have more impression on your subconscious more than if you speak it in your head. Okay, creating momentum will speed up your manifesting process. What is momentum? Momentum is the more frequently you do it, it changes the frequency. That means repetition. Momentum is repetition. The more you repeat what you're doing, the faster you're going to get your results. So that means if you're someone who's creating your life, if you're visualizing, if you're writing scripting, if you're affirming, and you're doing these things like you're doing these things without over effort or like to feel good to you. Some people do a lot of stuff. You don't need to do a lot of stuff. Some individuals will do 2-3 hours of all this stuff. You don't need all of that. Less is more. Quality versus quantity. Okay? Got that. All right. How does reality create? Your conscious mind basically turns the energy from the subconscious mind and we see physical reality. That's how we see that. Okay? What is manifestation? Manifestation is in the process by which we crystallize into physical reality. What does that mean? We basically, your eyes take the information of the photons, which are called photons, and they become crystallized in dense form of energy. I want you to check this out. Check this out. Why 95% of your brain is beyond your awareness. Here's how this stuff works. Whenever we see stuff, we have what we call photoreceptors or filters in our eyes, just like your phone has pixels, right? What happens is your brain gets information just like your phone. They come in numbers, they come in zeros, ones, binary systems, or whatever. So what happens is an apple in a car, where does that come from? That doesn't come from the brain. Did you know that? Yes, frequently will change the frequency. All your brain sees, it just puts puzzles together of light. It says, this has 50 billion photons, this has 20 billion photons. Your brain says, this is an apple and this is a car. So my question is, who or what makes that an apple and a car? Because my brain just sees it. So what is my brain doing, man? Is my brain just having its own trip, is doing his own trippy stuff, is just making up stuff? And the answer is yes. Our brains are being directed by something else. Our brains are just receiving information. And information our brains receive, it circulates and creates. So where's all this information coming from? The information comes, and this is deep right here. You gotta pay attention to this one. The information comes from what we call the engine of the multiverse, which is reincarnation. Reincarnation is the engine that makes the multiverse or the universe work, because everything has to recycle. So what happens is all this stuff you see has been done before, and it's locked in the information highway of what we call consciousness or the field. And then what happens is the brain just remembers it and regurgitates it, and all of us will look and say, there's the car, there's the house, because that has already been programmed and downloaded into our consciousness. So all of you guys have been here plenty of times. We are always being incarnated. You know they taught this. This was actually in the Bible, right? But the Romans took this out when they invented Christianity, because they wanted to control the narrative of people. So they took out reincarnation. So that's important to keep in mind. And now physics and quantum mechanics is showing us it's actually happening. And I'll give you a tip to let you know that you've been incarnated. When you're good at something and you catch on real fast, it's not that you learned it so good. Like someone over here said, man, you're just good at music. How you became so good at music? Man, you're so good at that game. Man, you're so good at teaching. You're so good at that. You're good. What? How you catching on so fast? It's because you were that in a previous life, and the memory was stored in your subconscious. Your cells remember it. That's why you're able to pick it up real fast. Okay? Yeah, that's right. Evolve. See how that works? Yes, not everyone here is going to do the lotto, just for individuals with the lotto. You can manifest anything you want to create. What do you think of doing scratches? It's the same. All right, okay, let me show you something trippy about the universe and manifesting. It's going to have something change. Just going to have something to help you blow your mind. And this is about, I'll use the lottery because the lottery is a great analogy to help you with everything. All right, so did you know that at each moment, right now, we are collapsing different realities. We're collapsing infinite amount of realities right now, right? We're parallel shifting realities, okay? Now, I mentioned this 3 years ago, and someone asked me this question. They said, Mark, um, why do you wait before you scratch your scratch card? Like, I scratch mine instantly and I'll lose. And I said, well, I'll wait to scratch mine. But he says, even if you buy the scratch card, it doesn't change. Will you scratch it now or you scratch it later? It's the same result. Incorrect. Here's what's happening. Since reality changed instantly, I can technically, I'll get a scratch card here I got, right? So let's use a scratch card as an example. Where is it at? I'll use this one here. I think I got it. Okay. So I got this scratch card right here, right? And I got this scratch card yesterday. So this one is 500 bucks. I haven't claimed it yet, but it's a 500 winner. I'll tell you the story on the scratch card. So when I got this scratch card, I asked a question. I said, all right. I said, show me where, just the universe. I said, show me where I could get a $500 winning scratch card. And I just let it go. And then the store popped into my head. And I went there the next day and I bought the card. And my ego says, man, you should scratch this card right now. I knew if I scratched the card right now, that day, it wouldn't be a winner. So you know what I said? I'm going to scratch it today, the next day. And the scratch card became $500. I changed that scratch card. My attention, so you can have a scratch card in your hand, and if you decide to scratch it then, it becomes a loser. And if you scratch it and you wait and give the energy to the scratch card as a winner, it will simultaneously turn into a winner, because reality is malleable. Let me get deeper to show you so you can ask. Because some people are like, this is crazy, bro. That doesn't make sense. Well, physics doesn't make sense, man. Physics is, if anyone claims they understand quantum physics, you're tripping. So let me show you what happens. We're made from particles. Particles are made from other particles. Muons, gluons, leptons, right? Smaller particles. Then we break them down, we get into the string of these particles. Then we go deeper, we get information. The thing about particles is they have no physical structure. You are made of particles. You have no physical structure. This is made of a particle. It has no physical structure. Let me repeat that again. They have no physical structure. So it means my observation can make a particle change instantaneously. So I can technically have a scratch card. And in one reality, it's a loser. Because if I scratch it then, my ego, my want, my desire changes the frequency. But the same scratch card the next day becomes a winner. I actually changed the dimension of the card. That's what quantum physics says. That's not what I say. That's what quantum physics says. That's not what Mark says. What Mark does is follow the physics. And this is why I do it with the scratch card. That's why I said to individuals, I say, hey, why don't you keep your scratch card so you can build the momentum to feel good, to act as if you already won it, so you can signal to the universe you did it. Now, if your higher self says scratch it instantly, scratch it instantly. But most likely your higher self won't say scratch it instantly. It'll be your ego. The only time you scratch it instantly is if you just feel it. That's from your higher self. Most of the time, there's times when I scratch it instantly and I won because I felt it. Other times I don't. I just said, let me wait. Let me just act as if this is already a winner. So I let the scratch card sit. Even a couple days, I'm just saying, man, okay, I'm going to take the scratch card. I'm just imagining, visualizing that same scratch card is a winner. And voila. 9 times out of 10, this actually happens, people. 9 times out of 10. Okay? So let that sink in. Okay, let's talk about money now. Someone asked me now, Mark, does it take the same amount of energy to make $1 billion, $1 trillion? All right, so here's the answer. It takes the same amount of what you call your creative magnetic energy to create a penny, $1 trillion. Same energy to create 1 penny, $1 billion, $100. So you might as well start to dream big. So if you're going to do anything, do it big. It takes the same amount of energy, people. See how that works? Mark, I won a lot of money. Oh, hi, Mark. Yesterday I won a lot of money, and I had a dream. What now? I had a dream about abundance. Is this a sign for bigger things to come my way? Yes. Your dreams are messages from another dimension. Your dreams are things you've done before that are reverberating back to you, so that you can get stuff going. Okay? Thanks for the advice about scratches. You're welcome. Okay, now what's we got? Can you explain a little bit more about how you know when to play the lottery and the numbers? All right. So, okay, guys. So listen. When you're gonna do anything, when you're gonna do anything, the key is right. You want to show your mind that's what you want, and you have to take action to do that. Okay. So remember those things. You have to. So what you do, you want to decide what you want. Let's say you want to become an actress or an actor, or you want to start your own business. Okay. You decide that, right? Then what you do, you take some actions towards the business. Doesn't mean you have to figure out the business. It means you take some action towards starting the business. What your action is, you'll start researching it. You start looking up what you want to do. You'll start looking at pictures and visualizing. Those are called actions, okay? Same thing with the lottery. How do you know when to play the lottery to manifest it? You have to decide that you want to win the lottery as one of the means. Now, not the only means. So there's the first step. Action step, you just play repeatedly. So what I do is I decide and I just play. So that's the key to do this. So decide and then just play. Got to see how it works? Give me a second here, guys. Let's see. Give me a second. All right, I'll get back to you. All right. So we decide and we play. That's simply how you do the lottery. If that's what you want to do. But you got to remember now, you got to make a budget, guys, and you don't go splurging all your money. You don't need to do that. You just chill, buy one ticket, two tickets here and there if you can. That's your four, and just continue with your life, and you'll get it. So Mark, if I want a good life partner, can I visualize any actress from a movie? Yes, because your subconscious is not logical. It'll see. Now it's not gonna say that you're gonna get that person from the movie, but you will get someone that matches the vibration of what you're looking for. The universe will always give us what we're looking for. Hi Mark. Okay, Mark. I thought of a prominent YouTuber yesterday. I haven't viewed in years. Moments later, his newest video appeared in my recommendations. Reality's man. Yes. When you think of things, they appear in your mind. Your mind will always show you sign. Mark, is it best to focus on one specific thing at a time, or can you do multiple manifestations? You can do multiple manifestations. Just break them up into scenes. Once you break them up into scenes, you get it into your brain. Okay. So the thing about this reality, guys, is that everything there's no solidity to anything in the universe. The question now, someone asked me, what does meditation do, Mark? Meditation trains the mind the way meditation trains the mind the way exercise strengthens the body. That's what meditation does. Okay, what's the big Mark? Another one. Mark, what's the biggest secret to manifest anything I want? You want the biggest, you guys ready? You want to know the biggest secret or the biggest tip to manifest anything you want? Here we go. I'll repeat this so you can get it. You can write this down. Get clear on what you want or your desires, and then trust the process. That's it. Get clear on what you want, trust the process. Mark, what is the purpose of keeping my vibration high? When your vibration is high, you clear resistance so that you can receive all your desires. What is resistance? What we talked about, fear, doubt, worry. They put you at a lower scale, and then you don't mess up, okay? Get clear on what you want. Believe it's possible. All right. Now, someone asked me this question. Is it okay to ask the universe daily for what I want? And the answer is yes. You can ask the universe anytime, any day for what you want. But, here's the but. But you have to ask it the way you ask it every day. For example, today you ask the universe in a very positive way what you want. Tomorrow, you ask the universe in a desperate way. So it's not what you ask, it's how you ask it and the energy you put forth to it. But if you ask the universe every day in the same way, being optimistic and just being fun and imaginable, guess what happens? It'll make your request clearer and clearer to the universe. Hence, it may even speed up what we call manifestation. All right, another one. Hey man, how do you explain the function of the brain and awareness? Where does all that stuff come from? What is consciousness? Okay, consciousness exists before the formation of our brain. So our brains, okay, that's the best way I can put it to you. All right. So we have the internet right now, okay? So we got the internet. Let's say you get to buy a new laptop. They have to create that laptop. When that laptop is created and it turns on, it plugs in to the internet that's already been invented. That's the same thing in your brain. When your brain's popped online, it's plugged into our consciousness, which has always existed. So our consciousness, or the awareness, that's who you are, goes into the brain and then funnels information out. It's like an avatar, like a 3D, like a game. Okay, Mark, you talk about knowing. What does it mean? Knowing means that you are certain about your truth. That's all knowing means. It means you're certain that's going to happen. Quantum physics, someone asked me here. What does quantum physics says about the physical universe? Quantum physics actually says that our physical universe, what we call physical universe, multiverse, may exist as a superposition. What does that mean? It means the universe exists as infinite possible states of doing something. Let me break that down to you and what it means by that. So it literally means that today I am talking to you guys. As I'm talking to you in this reality, there exists an infinite reality that I'm doing something else. Like I'm doing this video right now, there's a reality where I'm not doing this video. And all of that is happening outside of my awareness. So if I'm looking at you right now, over on this side, there's an infinite reality of me doing something. But if I go this way, I collapse and I go into another reality. But on this side, infinite reality. I come back again, infinite. But the physics says that, and I mentioned this before, it says that when you leave your house, this morning when you got out of your bed and you go into your bathroom and your head is turned this way, you can't see your bed, it vanishes from you and it becomes a wave of possibilities. Only when you turn back around, it pops into your world. Now someone may ask, bro, this makes no sense. What do you mean? How can, so, okay, what about if I go into the bathroom but someone else comes and sees my bed? Does that make sense? Well, that person has a different consciousness. They're seeing it from a different perspective. They're seeing the same thing. If they turn around, it disappears too. That's what the laws of physics. Remember, guys, the key for you to understand, you don't need to know the details of this because your mind can't comprehend. But here's what you do need to know, which will help you to understand this. Particles have no physical substance. Beds are made from particles. Money is made from particles. They appear and disappear based on your awareness. When I turn away, it doesn't exist. You ever hear that saying? What you put energy to, it comes. But if you take energy away, it disappears. If you have problems in your life, all you have to do is don't focus on the problems. Not saying don't ignore the problems. I'm not saying that. But it means don't put your energy in trying to fix. Just put your energy on what you want. And the two things happen. Those problems will either work themselves out or the universe finds a way to help you to fix it. That's it. That always happens. But so many people don't put it to the test. I love this one. It's from Danny. YouTube actually is pretty good indicator of timeline shift. Algorithm change the video. Yeah, so the universe is like that. It's like an algorithm, guys. It's like, for example, most of you guys here are very highly chosen ones. You are enlightened. So information you're searching for on YouTube will bring you to that. You'll find content. That's how you find me. It's because what you're thinking about. Some people are thinking the lottery, manifestation, just boom, I pop up. Other people think it. So that's the same way the observation effect works. It works by giving you what you're focusing on. Mark, how can we have a super brain? You already have a super brain. I mean, how can you unlock your brain to more power? By doing things such as cognitive of your awareness, focusing on what you want, not listening to the ego, trust more, feel more, use your intuition more, listen, meditate, focus on what you want, be optimistic, be open-minded. Those will give you what you call super brain. How to remove resistance. All right, this is a good one. Rule number one, we cannot fully remove all resistance. It's impossible. Okay, so it's all right. It's normal to have resistance. Here's the problem: is when the resistance gets in your way to get you what you want. When the resistance is blocking your manifestation, we're always going to have resistance. That's just part of life. So the key is less resistance, more manifestation. We cannot completely remove resistance. So the key is how to remove less resistance is number one, be open-minded. Number two, be optimistic. Number three, focus on positive stuff. Those three things, meditation, plenty of sleep, diet, those things will help you to release resistance. And the most important thing, someone asked me this, Mark, what is the most important thing that blocks our manifestation? What is the biggest thing that blocks your manifestation? And it's not resistance. Resistance is part of it. So I'm going to ask you guys, what is the thing that blocks most people's manifestation? I'll let you guys have a crack at this. What do you think is the biggest thing that will stop you from getting what you want? Not your ego. Ego's there too. While you do that, I'm looking through some more questions. What is the biggest thing? Waiting on too much, putting time off, fear? Nope. Those are good, but you're going to be shocked when I tell you this. Attachment? Nope. Resistance? Self-doubt? Nope. They don't believe? Nope. 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 Let me tell you, okay, listen. The biggest thing that stops your manifestation is people. Your friend. Your family. Your co-worker. People. People, people, people. People are the biggest thing to stop your manifestation. Why is that? Because we have been cognitively tuned and subconsciously tuned for authority figures. We look to people for what? For validation. We look to people because we want to feel accepted. We look to people because we value their opinions. We value what they say. This has been programmed into all of us since you were a kid. It's a subconscious program. That's the biggest block of your manifestation. People. If you allow people to tell you or follow what people think about you, or the opinions of people, or listen to people, you're not going to create what you want. And it's not your fault. It's in your subconscious. You may cognitively think, I'm going to prove these people wrong. I'm going to go do it. And you always wonder, like, why can't I do it? Because your subconscious values information. It values people. Someone says the keyword. I like this. Patriarch. 79. She said it, and this is key. This is why being selfish with your dream is key. I say this all the time. I say, guys, if you're going to help anybody, you got to help yourself. You got to be selfish first. Your cup got to be overflowing before you can give somebody some stuff. Your cup can't even be full, because your cup is full. Some of it's going to be taken out, and you're going to be left over. You have to trickle over to help people. So you got to be selfish for yourself. You got to do this. Now, it doesn't mean you should stay away from people, guys. We cannot stay away from people. But what it means is, when you see people, you change your awareness and your mind about how people, you know that these people have their own opinion and they don't have to influence yours. They have their own reality. The key is, don't listen to anyone that's not in alignment with what you want. Number two, don't tell people who you know are negative about what you're going to create. Don't do that. We all can feel people out. We know when someone's on our level or someone's going to be nice for us. Don't tell people your dreams and goals if they are not on your level, if they're not supportive of you. Don't do that, because your subconscious will pick that up and you will run an automatic program of self-sabotage. Also, start to filter out people, guys. Start to look for people that can, if you can't find people, be right with yourself. Get yourself to growth. People will come around. You'll be attracted to people. Listen, guys, we only need 1 or 2 friends in our lives. Did you know that? Most of the people are associates. You only get 1 or 2 true friends in your life. Guys, you have plenty of guides. You have non-physical. You have higher self. You have angels, guides. You have a whole bunch of team around you. They just can't see them in your dimension. So you don't need all these people around you that's going to drag you down. You don't need to impress anybody. You don't have to show these people anything. If you're going to do anything, look, we're in the age right now where you could find information. You have the internet, you have YouTube, you have all this, you have so many things you can turn to that can help you. Find someone that's cool with you. If you can't find someone, do it alone. It's fine. There's so much information. Do it with your guides. You know, the secret to build is sometimes you gotta be alone, man. I mean, that's the truth. People will bring you down. The right and the wrong people will bring you down. Mark, what powers quantum physics or particles? Particles are powered by what's called electromagnetic energy. It's an energy force in the universe. Mark, can you tell me about the higher self? Where does the higher self exist? Higher self exists both inside and outside your body. Your higher self exists in your subconscious through cells. Your higher self exists outside through intuition. It's all here, everywhere. It's not a separate entity from you. It's a part of you in a non-physical form, hence we call spiritual form. The interesting thing about the higher self, guys, the higher self is not bound by space-time dimension. So we live in space-time. Think about that. Your higher self is out of time. There's no time in there. So that's a whole nother level. Everywhere you go, there's space-time in the present moment. Your higher self, none of that exists to your higher self, right? How do I get the details of what I want to manifest? You never try to figure out details. Trust the universe to handle the details. It's not your job to get details on how you're going to manifest. Your job is to see the end goal. Okay? That's how it works. What is the difference between the subconscious and the conscious? Very simple. The subconscious is the creative mind and cannot be accessed by ordinary states of consciousness. The conscious mind is the mind of logic, rationality, and observation. Does that make sense? See how that works? How do you know when the subconscious, this is David, how do you know when the subconscious is on board with your desires? Okay, the keys to let you know when your subconscious is on board with your desires, you will see synchronicities, or what you call meaningful coincidence. Okay, you will see signs, people, things. You will feel more peace, more optimism. You will have a lot of dreams, visions. Those are signs that your subconscious is on board. Also, things starting to go good. You start having a lot of good stuff. People give you free stuff, coffee, things like that. Your life just starts to get a lot more organized and better. That's signs that your subconscious is on board. What's the best way to meditate? Just relax, close your eyes. You can open your eyes, focus. The best one I like, if you open your eyes, just focus right here on the nose part. Just look at that and just breathe and allow your mind to focus on that. Those are the best ways to meditate. Okay? See how that works? So the thing, how do you try to emulate? How about trying to emulate? Yeah, people. When it comes to people, is we've been programmed that as authority figures. So the reason why people will stop you from manifesting is because we associate ourselves, and because we developed as a tribal mentality, we want to feel accepted. If we don't feel accepted, we feel like we're left out. So when someone says to you and you say, hey man, I'm going to do this, say, you can't do that. Most likely your subconscious says, we can't do that because we value their importance. That's a program that was put into us. Someone asked, Mark, how can I manifest my dream job? So guys in the comments, can you answer this question? How can this person, Bo, manifest his dream job? Because you guys should know now how to do this stuff. How do you manifest anything? How do you manifest your dream career, dream whatever? How do you manifest that stuff? You guys can comment. How do you manifest your dream career, your dream whatever you want to do? Visualize it. That's good. That's it. Visualize it. Script it. Write it. Use subliminals. Do it frequently. It will change the frequency. The more frequently you do something, it changes the frequency. Remember now, we live on frequencies. Mark, how do I build belief? You just got it. Do something frequently, changes the frequency. If you want to build belief, do something frequently. Think about it frequently. It will brainwash you to believe in it. Stay positive. That's right. Anything. Listen, the key to do something is to do it repeatedly, frequently. Remember this word. More frequently, it changes the frequency. We live on frequencies. You don't live in a physical reality. Check this out. Once you realize that your world is in like an energetic matrix, like a 3D matrix of energy, your life will never be the same again. Once you realize that you don't live in a physical structure world, your life will never be the same again. Once you realize that what you see and around you is just an hallucination or an illusion of a physical thing, your life will never be the same again. Thank you, Ivy Tang, 38. So can anyone answer this question when I just said it? Once you realize that you no longer live in a physical structural universe, your life will never change. Your life will change immensely. Why is that? Just that simple awareness right now will change your life. Can anyone answer that question? I'll give you a clue. Once I realized that, that's when I started to win the lottery. Once I realized that, that's when a lot of stuff started going good in my life. So what does that say? Someone says it, infinite possibility. Let me tell you what happens. Let me show you the power of your brain here. Okay, the brain. The brain is great, but here's what the brain does. Anytime you can introduce a new way of thinking, a new way of perceiving, a new awareness, did you know your brain now actually starts to categorize that and create new pathways to bring more of that into your life? Did you know that? So if someone taught you, that's why they didn't teach you this in school, because they want your brain to be shrunk. They want to keep you in a box. But if someone comes up to you and says, hey man, did you know that all of this stuff you're seeing is not really real? Did you also know that all this stuff you can change it by changing your mind, by thinking about it? Because it's all energy, and with energy you can transcend it. Your brain now starts to open up a new level of awareness. Your brain starts to see possibilities, man. It says, what, for real? So I'm not stuck in this 9 to 5. So I'm not stuck in this. So this is not my life. I can change it. But man, it looks so real. But then you say, but it's energy. So I can dream big. I can start to like think about what I want now without worrying about how I'm going to get it. Your brain actually starts to create that reality for you, and it's proof evidence. That's why I say once you realize these truths, man, it changes your whole life, because now you realize I'm the infinite creator now of not only possibilities but actualities. How about this one? What if someone told you right now and came up to you and said, yeah, but I want to add something to it. Not only that everything is energy, but guess what? There are like an infinite version of you out there, like living right next to you right now in parallel. But you know what? You can't see that person physically or interact with that person because the laws of physics work differently in each parallel universe. The laws of physics will never work the same in each parallel universe. They only work the same in this universe that you're experiencing. But you can bring information from that future self into this universe. Why is that? Well, Mark, why do the laws of physics work? Why can't I see them? Well, because maybe the charge of the particle may be just a little off, hence we can't see. The charge of the particle may be a little high, hence we can't feel. Their charge can be a little bit different. They can see us. These are talking about higher beings now. So the fact that you're right next to them, well, how can I get in touch with that being, man? In your imagination. You can use your imagination. Well, how do I see my future? How do I get? It's very simple. If you can see an image in your mind, in first person or third person of yourself, 90% man, you're there. So, okay, relax. Some of you can't see images. You got aphantasia. Guess what? If you can write an image in description of the future self, you got it. If you can feel what it feel like of the future self, you've got it. Why is that? When a person goes on and say, well, let's check this out, man. Did you know that there's 2 physicists in 2022, I think 2021, that they just won the Nobel Prize, man? And they proved that, listen to this, They prove that the universe is non-local and that everything is separation is an illusion, and that because of separation is an illusion, quantum entanglement means that we're always connected as one. And they also discovered, not a few years back, many years back, that the particles that make us, they're not infinite. They they have a cap, so they have to repeat themselves. If they repeat themselves, they got to repeat a version of me, because these physicists shows that the universe is infinite, that reality is not in a time-space thing. So because we are all infinite, there exists this person of you that has what you want, and you can tap into that person by doing something frequently. They tell you that. Now you have evidence. Your brain opens up to that reality. Yo, you know your brain, people, have up to 11 dimensions to process information. They just found this out, right? Let me show you how trippy this is. They caught a sneak peek of what the brain does. The brain will create these dimensions, which are synapses. And once it creates the dimension, it processes information, it disappears and goes back. So your brain is on demand. It creates on demand. So it doesn't have 3 dimensions, 11 dimensions in the brain. And they were amazed by this. It's like, wow, look, they build these walls, like these dimensional walls, like a tesseract, beyond a tesseract, we call a quasi-crystallized structure. And it disappears back. Yeah. See how that works? So it's a lot of stuff that you can create in spirituality. So what is the science of spirituality? What is spirituality, man? Spirituality is just non-physical stuff. Is the science of spirituality is the things we can't comprehend and see physically. That's all it is. Right? All right, Mark, someone asked me this question here. It says, okay, can you talk more about how people can stop us from manifesting? All right. Here's what it means. People, you have toxic people, right? They will project their own character defects on you, making you a victim. They do this by accusing you or putting negative thoughts into your head so you can doubt yourself. That's what people do. We are all projectors, guys. So everyone we go around, we're going to interact with them energetically. So some people are empaths. They pick up energy a lot faster. They're more sensitive. So that's why some people, they can't go out in public a lot. They stay home, because when they go out in public, they get so drained, man. They get so tired because they're just soaking up the energy. And they never taught you this, and they tell you, oh, you have chronic fatigue syndrome. Oh, you have this. Oh, you have none of that stuff. It's just that you don't realize who you are, that you're very sensitive. And if you know how to fix it, then you can go out in public and never be influenced again. Well, how do I fix it if I'm ever? Well, you know that, okay, if I go out in public, I'm going to be drawn by a lot of people. So you start to wear crystals. Crystals are very good at optimizing energy. There are certain crystals you can wear that can suck up and push out energy of other people. Like, amethyst, quartz, jade. Those crystals will help you. You have an empath. Then what you can do? You do more meditation. You do more breathing. You practice grounding. All those things can help you. And then the biggest thing to understand is to understand that, okay, these people are projecting their energy on me. I don't have to accept it and just let it go, and they won't come into you. But some people just get it through their lives, and the doctors go to the doctor and say, man, I'm always tired, I'm always down. Oh, you're here. You're chronic fatigue. Go take these medications, and when they finish, come back and I'll give you some more. How many people are doing that right now? And you've been diagnosed with all this stupid stuff, but really what it is, you're just an empath, and you're just really sensitive to energy. You can do, if you go into a room with 5 people and you come out drained, you're an empath. If you go to the mall and you get claustrophobic and you come out drained, you're an empath. This means that you're just highly sensitive to energy. It's not that you have chronic fatigue syndrome. The reason what happens is, so let me tell you the science behind that. Well, what happens is our cells are polarized, polarity in our cells. So our cells are constantly communicating outside. So when we have energy and they come in, especially the toxic negative, they create free radicals. These free radicals destroy the cells, and that makes us tired. It slows your mitochondria down. That's why you got to go rest. But if you can understand that you don't have to accept that, then you can be good. But if you're an empath, just get you some crystals, man. That's it. And you wear them, you cleanse them, and you go out in public, and you feel the difference. What do you do after being drained? You got to take time to recuperate. You got to rest. You got to relax. Do things to get you back up your energy. But you don't have to get drained again. All you have to do now is just learn how to manage the energy, and then the chronic fatigue syndrome will go away, the depression goes away, because all of these have effects on the cells in our body. They affect the levels of it. Lots of water is good. Yep, lots of water. But that's these are powerful stuff that you can learn when you're going to create anything in your life, right? Energy cleansing meditation. Someone said that, right? So, can you talk about the thoughts? Okay, bottom line is, when you have control over your thoughts, you have control over your life. You gotta remember that. When you have control over your thoughts, you have control over your life, because your thoughts create your life. All right, so someone asked me this question here now. Mark, you mentioned that everything is observation, particle, wave. How does it work? Okay, here's how it works. When you observe a particle as a wave, it's a wave. Observe it as matter, it's matter. What I mean by that, it's the way you look at reality that makes reality as it is. So when I look this way right now, it's a particle. Behind me, it's a wave. To you, you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing, because we're all plugged in. But in my reality, this doesn't exist, because I'm an independent observer. Your reality, this exists because you're watching from outside in. But to me, all of this isn't here right now. I go like this, it pops back into my reality. When I go like this, particle behind me is a wave. The easiest way to do this is watch video games. When a video game is rendering, as the character is moving, you see the screen coming in and out. It goes back, it builds up again. That's the rendering. Now listen, guys, your brain cannot. Our brains just can't understand this, because we think things in logic and linearity. So if you're trying to figure out like the details, and all, it's just not going to work. That's why we have that like science and the physics to show us like, look, when we do this, there it is. Even though I can't see it, and my mind don't want to believe it, but when I have the science there, I'm like, damn, I can't really refute this, man. Mark, are you working on? Yes, I'm working on a new book. It's called Mastering the Game of Life, and I think that's going to be my best book. It's taken a long time, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to have everything in there. It's going to have all in one: lottery, life, man, all the stuff I'm teaching you guys. Mastering the Game of Life. You're going to need to get that book. That's going to be the go-to book as well. Does light or sound come before a wave? So, all right, light, and sound. So a wave basically is the components of light and sound. When you observe it, it either goes as light and comes as a sound. But to make it technical for you, yeah, we're going to see light first, and then we're going to see sound, and we're going to hear sound. Now remember now, guys, sound is only contained in our earth, in the sound doesn't exist in space. Okay, there's no sound in space. So remember that sound is created by the atmosphere. There's no sound in space. Got it? So let's see. So you're seeing how this stuff works, right? So you know that everything is connected in the universe. There's no separation. When you force anything in your life, you're going to meet resistance. Forcing, struggling restricts your energy to create. Okay, see some more questions. Reality, your inner side. Okay. So everything, someone asked me, is everything made of energy? Yes, everything is made of energy. Physical is just a reference to what we call matter, space and time. Do we exist? Another question someone asked me. So, do we truly exist in space or time? Or is space and time made up as well? The answer is, guys, yes. Space and time is all made up by your awareness. There actually is no such thing as space or time, if you want to get technical. There's only your awareness. Your awareness creates space and time. That's where your higher self is above all this. But for right now, we're in a 3D world, which makes us see linearity through our brain's perceptions of space and time. So, just want to give you guys some things on to just keep you thinking and seeing how things work. So, just remember that whenever you're going to create anything, there is no physical structure to anything you see. Everything you see is a mental construct that creates what we call a perceived physical thing. So it means you can use your mind and your imagination and it'll change your world.